Welcome back to another episode of Salesy. Clearly, I am excited to be here and excited to serve you. Before we dive in today's episode, I wanted to give you an opportunity to work with me further. Scale to 5K is my signature group program that helps entrepreneurs like you start hitting consistent 5K months and grow their online business. We focus on the foundations of business, so offers, pricings, products, marketing, sales, how to sign clients, how to raise your prices, and all of those things. This framework has graduated over 100 students in the last 4 years and has actually built my own business to multiple six figures in the first calendar year, and even building these massive launches that you saw this year and last year. If you are someone who you know this is the next step for you and you are ready to see the sales page and apply to the program, go ahead and click into the show notes. It's always linked down there. And ready or not, we're heading into the next episode. A signature offer is an offer that you can just repeat over and over. And while a lot of people are really diving into micro programs, these one-off things, low ticket digital products and those types of things, I want to expand your mindset outside of standard online business and what signature offers can do for a business, and how having one signature offer, having one thing that you're known for, is some of the reasons why you feel the way you do. I know multi-passionate is really popular right now. I get it. We are multi-passionate humans at our core. And I know memberships are on the rise. Courses are always on the rise. There's so many different things. But your signature offer should be something that is A, high ticket when you're starting out, and B, rooted in your expertise. So if you are a service provider, this isn't something that just extends to coaches. This is actually thinking about it holistically. When I get outside of the online space and I start looking around and start looking at what do other businesses do and they do really well, they're typically known for one to two things. And they may have other products, they may have other things, but they are typically known for one to two things. Simply Modern, these cups, is an example of it. Simply Modern is known for their slim cups, and they are known for the ones that look like the Stanleys. Their first front of mind is cups, but they offer so much more than that. But their signature offer is that. So when thinking about your signature offer, what is the first piece that you want to root in is your expertise. What do you want to be known for? And there's a lot of people out there right now who have a really hard time committing for being known for one thing, because you're so much more. And we get a lot of conversation around you are the niche. When I think about this and why I think so many people struggle with this, I want you to think broader than just vanilla syrup. I want you to think more about your expertise in an industry versus just with the online space things. A really good example of this is when, right before COVID happened, I was in the backseat in Vegas with my mentor and her soon-to-be husband. They were engaged and now they're married. And I remember telling her, I was really lit up by 5K months in service providers, but part of what I was learning and doing with sales was taking all this experience that I had and then turning it into results for my clients and almost acting like a translator between sales psychology, and how do they actually apply it. And I remember telling her, I'm so scared. I don't want to get in a field with people that I don't want to get into a field that with people that I know do really well at it. There was a really well-known name at the time, and she was at $1 million. She was helping a lot of people, and I was scared to compete because that was part of the reason why I wanted to niche out, is I was sick of competing. The other thing is just the fear of identity, being known for one thing. What if you change your mind? And I think I have a different mindset than back then when I did. Part of your signature offer is to make your business boring. Boring makes billions. And while a lot of people get a lot of excitement in it, one of the biggest pieces this summer that has helped me is that we have 3 signature offers and they're full. We have Overflow, we have Mission Income, and we have Scale to 5K. Scale to 5K turns 5, Mission Income will turn a year, and then Overflow is the first iteration that we've done of this. Having those 3 core programs, right? Having those 3 things allow me to have more of my life back. And so while there's this mindset around it of, I don't want to be known for one thing, I don't want to be the go-to girl, I have a larger question to ask about, what if you could make it easier? What if you thought less about your business and you would go deep on something versus wide? So with the mindset, with kind of prefacing it, how do we actually build offers that make sense and how do we internally build offers? Because I've made probably 20 plus offers at this point. I have helped my clients build some massive businesses, and offer creation itself is simple because offers a simply Monterey cup to a Stanley cup is not that different. It's the marketing and sales piece that we're going to talk about in the next episode that make it different, of how we highlight and we use sales psychology and we use these psychological triggers. So, first things first, what is included? Who is it for? And what problem does it solve? When it comes to a problem being solved, I want you to think about problems that actually make money versus problems that don't, and how you phrase it with that. Remember, Freud said that brains will move away from pain and towards pleasure, and people don't want to be told what they need. Are, we're desire based. We want what we want. And so when we're also thinking about this, I always think about sales call mastery. It is a sales call course that I built, and the launch went horrible because I called it sales call mastery, right? What people needed was to master sales calls to sign more clients. But what they wanted was to sign more clients. And another example of this is right before I did the consistent sales system launch, that was $100,000. We collected $160,000 in revenue, which is contract signed. That did not come into my bank account in 30 days. And it was a shift in my messaging. People wanted to work less and make more money and have a business that was really stable. The original messaging was spend less time finding clients. That is why messaging is so important. And when it comes to offer creation, it does come down to who is it for? What do they get? What price point are you doing it? What capacity? And there's actually a pricing sheet that we will link down below if you haven't grabbed it. If you are inside the Salesy portal or inside the Sales Society portal, it is also inside of there as well. That is something to consider too, because opportunity cost is really important in offer creation, where as you're starting to grow, we want to think about how can we maximize your time. For coaches, this could be a group program, and starting to scale a group program. For service providers, it's really, staying at that really high dollar amount of the work that you're doing. And you don't have to build an agency. You could build a firm where you have someone taking care of admin, you have someone taking care of bookkeeping, like you stay where the money is. That is the other piece of it, because there is a lot of misinformation around how to scale businesses with offers and how to really make, 100,000 or 200,000 or $300,000 without having this massive team and this massive overhead. Because scaling at its core is keeping your expenses the same while increasing your income and not having more time input. So with your offers as well, I don't want y'all to make a product suite. I see this all the time where people make these massive product suites and they're trying to sell multiple things. I want something that feels easy and tangible for you. Don't make it a kitchen sink offer that includes everything. I've done that before and it sucks. Don't have to change and tweak it. You could also have a general concept and then validate your concept. So, something that's not talked about a lot in the online space is market research versus offer validation. Offer validation is what they call in tech an MVP, which is a minimal viable product. And a minimal viable product is the thing you can get to the market the quickest, because when we work in tech cycles, we want to get something to the market and then we get feedback and we continually improve the product, right? But it's not a build it and they will come, because the other thing about tech is a lot of it is funded. And because it's funded, they have to be getting stuff out to be showing the investors and also creating income. We also see this with makeup startups and other startups. Your company is a startup, and having that mindset of an MVP of a product, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be the greatest thing ever, but getting it to market faster is going to be so much more important than that. So, bare minimum, how can you deliver this offer? How much is it going to cost you? Really looking at your time beyond just, well, here's the call or here's this. Like, how much time are you going to be spending in Voxer or Slack? Fuck Voxer though. Use Slack. I don't care like as software as much, but Slack is just so much more organized, and Voxer, the app, is just weird. I'm going to say this till I die, but like if you work with entrepreneurs, 90% of entrepreneurs are neurodivergent and you need to be able to reply to each message. So these are considerations inside of our offers. Who are we serving? How do we serve them best? how do we get quick little wins, and what do those look like as they come in the container so that we can maintain customer retention? What is the offer? What does it look like? And those types of things. If you're someone who you're like, I need to really map this out, there is a training inside of Salesy that goes over it. You can click the link down below, get your free 7 days, and go from there. Because the other thing about offers is typically we start with an offer. Not gonna lie, I had to pause it because I had a coughing fit because I have the world's worst allergies. And to be 100% honest with y'all, we're treating this like a live training. So the thing about your offers, and coming back into this to kind of round this out, is starting with something that's bare minimum, like I was talking about, and then they grow and expand as we take people through it. Because an offer in itself doesn't matter if you're not taking people through it, you're not testing it, you're not getting feedback. There is so much testing that we do and just thoughts and like research that a lot of people don't think about it. The way that I operate in my business is more like a tech founder than like an online coach, if I'm being honest. And like, not that I want to build an app right now, but in tech, it's very fast moving and it's very much you are using a feedback loop from your customer. And a lot of people want these things to be perfect. You want your offer to be so good that people just buy. And the offer is typically not the problem. The offer is typically not the problem. It's the marketing and sales is why people aren't buying. The results are created from the offer. So, like we just talked about, micro wins. What's an MVP? What's a minimal viable product? How can you get people in and excited and test it? And then how do we use marketing and sales to support it? If you like this, go to the next one. If you're listening, make sure to share on stories because we want people to have this information. We want to get people out there. And as always, I love you guys and I'll see you later. If you have loved today's episode, make sure that you rate and review the Salesy podcast on whatever your preferred platform is. Rating and reviews does help us push out to more people, get more listeners, and be able to serve you deeper. If you haven't, go ahead and check out the show notes. We have everything linked down there. And if you are listening to this episode and you love it, go ahead and screenshot it, share it on Instagram, and tag me. Before we leave today, I want to remind you that Scale to 5K is still open for enrollment. This is a signature group program focusing on laying your business foundations, helping you hit 5K cash months consistently, so over 6 and 12 months, and being able to build your online business. This has graduated over 100 students, and this framework is near and dear to my heart because it actually helped me make my own first 5K in my business and helped me rebuild my business after leaving last year. So if you are called and ready, go ahead, click down into the show notes. The sales page is linked down there, and I will see you on another episode of Salesy.